Pay Kelsey Mitchell the $1.4 million she's asking for, lock in your all-star scorer, and keep the fans happy. That's the storyline being pushed everywhere right now. The face of the rebuild gets rewarded, the franchise shows loyalty, and the Indiana Fever move forward like nothing complicated is happening behind the scenes. But what if that one decision is actually the moment everything starts to fall apart? Because that $1.4 million number? It looks clean. It looks justified. It even feels earned. Mitchell has been the one constant through years of losing. She carried the offense when nobody else could. She stayed when things got ugly. Fans didn't just support her, they built a connection with her. So now the pressure is obvious. Pay her. Reward loyalty. Don't overthink it. But that's exactly the problem. This decision requires overthinking, because this isn't just about keeping a player. It's about choosing a direction. And the Fever right now are standing at one of the most dangerous crossroads any franchise can face, the point where emotion and strategy collide. And when teams choose emotion in that moment, it usually costs them years. Here's what most people aren't saying. That $1 or million isn't just a contract. It's a commitment to a system. It's a commitment to a style of basketball. It's a commitment to building around a certain type of player. And once that commitment is made, it quietly locks the entire roster into place. You don't just pay Mitchell and move on. You build around her. You adjust to her. You sacrifice flexibility for her. And suddenly, what looked like a simple decision turns into something much bigger, something much harder to undo. Because in today's WNBA, especially after the new salary rules, every dollar carries weight. Every contract shapes the team's identity. And when one player takes up that much space, it doesn't just affect the bench, it affects the ceiling of the entire franchise. And that's where things start to get uncomfortable. Because while fans are focused on what Mitchell has done, the front office has to think about what comes next. They have to think about the future of Caitlin Clark. They have to think about building a system that actually wins. They have to think about whether this team is trying to feel good or compete for a championship. And those two things are not always the same. Mitchell's 20 points per game look incredible on paper. They tell a story of consistency, talent, and scoring ability. But numbers don't always tell you how those points happen. They don't show the possessions, the pace, the style, the flow of the offense, and that's where the real conversation begins. Because the Fever aren't the same team anymore. This isn't a rebuilding squad searching for identity. This is a franchise that just handed the keys to a generational talent. Everything is changing. The tempo, the expectations, the spotlight. And suddenly decisions that used to feel safe aren't safe anymore. Because now every move has to answer one question. Does this help Caitlin Clark win? And if the answer isn't clear, that's where things get dangerous. The pressure from the outside is loud. Fans want loyalty. Media wants a simple story. Social media wants a feel-good headline. But inside that front office, the conversation is very different. Because they know something most people don't want to admit. Paying Mitchell might actually make the team worse. Not because she isn't talented, not because she hasn't earned it, but because of what that contract forces the team to become. And once that reality sets in, this stops being a celebration. It becomes a gamble, a massive one. Because if they get this wrong, it won't show up immediately. It won't explode overnight. It'll build slowly, quietly, game after game, until one day the Fever realize they've built a roster that can't quite work. A roster that looks good individually, but doesn't fit together. A roster that has talent, but no identity. And by the time they figure it out, it's already too late. But that's just the surface of the problem. Because once you understand what changed in the WNBA, this decision gets even more complicated. Fans see 20 points per game. They see highlights, clutch shots, and a player who carried this team through some rough years. And to be fair, that part is real. Mitchell earned her respect the hard way. She didn't just show up. She stayed, she produced, and she became one of the most recognizable pieces of this roster. So naturally, the reaction is emotional. Pay her. Don't let her walk. You can't disrespect what she's done. And on the surface, that all makes sense. But front offices don't get paid to make emotional decisions. They get paid to see what everyone else is missing, because once you zoom out, that $1.4 million starts looking very different. It's not just a reward, it's a commitment, a declaration of identity, a thesis.